Welcome to the Crew Live. It's great to have you along. Today we got Warren, Rich, Matt, and I'm Jim. And we might have the big bear Bjorn cruising through the set the odd time. We've got a live audience, an all-female audience. If you want to be part of the Crew Live audience, let's hear a woo-woo from the audience. Email us through our website, thecrewlive.co, or subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/thecrewlive. Love to have you part of our live studio audience. Tickets are available for the summer shows, so let us know if you can. Hey guys, welcome to the Crew Live. Hey. Cheers it up. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. You guys been keeping good?
Oh yeah.
Are you guys? Yeah.
Fantastic.
Today on the Crew Live, we're going to talk about some of the things that white folk need to stop saying. Some of them are a little obscure, and you might be saying one or two of them that makes you appear like a racist bastard. So we're going to find out how many of these gents on the couch might have said one or two of these things. And again, if we offend you in any way, please feel free to email us an eloquently put letter.
We're hoping to offend you at some point.
We'd love to respond to that, and we'll see how you feel about that.
Are you guys homophobic? You're spread out so much.
Move over there a bit. We got to tighten this circle.
All right.
Tighten this circle up.
Is that inappropriate for me to say that?
Hey.
Is that inappropriate for me to say that?
Are you homophobic?
I don't think that's I think that's fine.
That's a good question.
That's not on the list?
No, I think that's legit.
That's a good question, though. Is it inappropriate to say, are you homophobic? Well, first of all, a phobia is a fear. A fear, an inordinate response to something that is not typically recognized as something to be fearful
But I think
of.
homophobic people generally question their own sexuality. Otherwise, what are they scared of?
Yeah.
Like, if someone's gay, great, whatever, man. No problem. But if you're, like, angry about that person being gay, it's
Right.
usually
It's very bizarre.
because, you've got issues,
It's
man.
a really bizarre thing.
And so, did we answer your question? No, I'm not homophobic.
No.
And yes, you can probably say that.
That's
You can say that.
Okay,
Here, you're free to say whatever you want, remember? There's no
Yeah,
rules.
Couch
absolutely.
of truth.
So the Huffington Post, and you guys have a copy of it here. They had 10 things white people need to quit saying, and they make an interesting statement about racism. A quick reminder is just because you didn't intend for something to sound racist doesn't mean it isn't, and just because you don't think you're racist doesn't mean you're not.
I think everybody's racist, so James.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think that North America, it's very in the spotlight, our racism. But if you go to a different country, like say you go to a country in Asia, there was a study that was put out, interestingly enough, that they asked a whole bunch of Americans. They didn't ask Canadians in this study, but they asked a whole bunch of Americans, would you be okay with someone from this part of the world being your neighbor? And it was about an 80%, yeah, I'd be fine with that. So 20% of people were not fine with that.
Not fine.
Which is a pretty high stat. But they did the same study in, I don't remember what Asian country it was.
Yeah.
And it was almost reversed. It was 80% of the people said that they would have a problem with that.
Wow.
And there's a...
80% would have a problem with their own people?
No,
that
No,
were
somebody
with a
different,
foreigner.
different culture, a foreigner.
asking them.
Yeah.
Any
so,
foreigner.
Yeah.
So the phobia of other cultures moving in is not an isolated thing here.
No.
Is that xenophobia? What is that called when you're afraid of other cultures?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you're afraid of aliens, yeah.
Yeah. Aliens meaning not aliens.
Yeah, I know.
But not locals.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could be those aliens. You might be
Yeah,
really scary.
right, yeah.
I've watched a lot of movies, James.
So,
Yeah,
but
they're
you said
scary.
you think everybody is racist.
Everybody to a point. It's not like you're colorblind. You see the differences. You see what's going on.
I don't see color, Matt. In fact, I think that's on our list.
I think I'm pretty sure that's
Well, no.
Man,
You made the top 10 list with that one.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. So you're saying colorblind. So I'm not trying to go to the list just yet, but you're saying everybody should be colorblind or is colorblind or
no, everybody sees color.
Okay.
They see the differences. I mean, we're all built, even physically built differently. So you see somebody who's more athletic. Well, everybody here is fairly fit people, but I mean, maybe sitting on a different couch, you got somebody morbidly obese, somebody fit.
yeah.
And you see the differences between the different people. And it's the same with colors. It's the same with if you see women compared to men. You should, for your survival instinct, be able to see the differences between people. So that's it's just weird when people see
I
you
agree
not.
with you.
This one time we
I
agree.
almost agree with you that you could probably take any person
Wow.
on the planet and find one scenario with a different race, religion, color, gender, something
we're
where
all
they're
different.
going to be
Yeah.
a little bit biased or racist or
Sure.
So
Bigot.
it's just our higher understanding as humans to manage that appropriately.
It doesn't need to be negative per se. It's not like racism is wrong, correct? But it's a matter of our quick read of people, the situation, the understanding of what's going on. You read everything you see.
I'm distracted by your glasses right now.
Are they shiny?
They're nice glasses.
They're really nice glasses.
If you do say so yourself.
What kind are they?
When you get old, you wear glasses too.
Ray-Ban.
Yeah, Ray-Bans,
I don't
man.
buy it. I control my
I have no control over this. I
my
didn't think
vision
this
my
was going
whole
to happen
life.
to me.
That's right.
I'm in my
It just
control
happened.
my own
That's
visual
right.
It
cues.
just happened.
Yeah, it just happened.
And you'll start to see people in different colors too. So.
I am colorblind.
Yeah.
So
Are you really?
real funny.
But, oh, really?
You're different.
So you are racist.
You're racist.
Red people look just like green people. to me.
Okay, so
Alright.
so you're not racist because of your color blindness.
No.
Actually, it's not colorblind anymore. It's called color.
Oh, come on.
Color different.
There's a
Yeah, we
politically
can't use blind.
Color
there's a
difference,
yeah, there's a politically
No,
correct identifier
color
for it.
otherly abled.
Otherly.
Yeah,
Well,
you're color challenged. Yeah,
probably
so,
what it is.
so okay, so point being, there's a lot of things that people do say, and they think they're not racist, but we say them anyways. And I'm not saying the people on this couch, but this list was interesting. And Rich mentioned offset for a moment that he read a list of 19 things people shouldn't say and 11 things, and there's all these lists. But let's look at this list and give some comments on it. The first one, I'll read it, and we'll just go around the group. Do not use the word exotic to refer to humans who do not look like you. We're not fruit, and it's not a compliment. The longer you insist on assuring us that it's a compliment, the stupider you look. Just give it up. Like, I've heard guys say, I like exotic women. Is that racist?
No.
Well, apparently it is.
This
I don't
is
know if it's racist. It's just exotic. It's just you're interesting looking. Like you're exotic looking. You're interesting looking. You're an exotic looking man.
we've actually seen a bromance start to develop.
I
on
wouldn't
the
call it
couch.
romance. It's just I think it's one sided. I'm thinking.
It's one side. Yeah, but I think the point of reference here is talking about exotic people from other
I
parts of the
understand
world.
what you meant, but I'm just saying it can be used in other terms. But yeah,
Well, can you see that as being a racist statement?
as is,
I get.
it objectifies. Yes.
Okay, it objectifies. What is racist? Objectifying. What else?
Stereotyping. Man, I feel like we're in school.
We,
I'm moving number 2.
well, let's make sure that we agree or not with this. Who agrees that it's probably not the best, say, to identify people of another ethnic group as exotic?
Well, I think that this list is coming from an angle like exotic is the same as different or foreign or alien to us, right?
Right.
But I don't mean it that way, and I have said it before, and I've said it in passing. I've never been like, ew, you're exotic. Like I've been like, huh, she's exotic looking. She's something that we don't.
Interesting looking, yeah.
Something that we don't normally see here. in our
Man, you
parts
didn't
of the
even
world.
listen to the lead-in. Just because you don't think you're a racist doesn't mean you're not.
I kind of agree with Warren on this.
Just
I
because
kinda-
you didn't intend for something to sound racist doesn't mean it isn't.
Well, then I
But
guess I'm a big old
James,
racist
does this
by
not come
accident.
from a white woman?
So it's
No,
like
it's
if
not
a
from a white
racist
woman.
It
comment
looks like it on
falls
the
in the
picture.
forest,
No, that
does
picture's
anybody
not
hear
her.
it?
Mosey Mosey.
Say that again.
If a racist comment falls in a forest, does anybody hear it? Is it racist if no one hears it?
Yeah.
Because it's about the
It still
person
is.
that's hearing it, or is it about the person that's saying
No,
it?
it's just the intent.
Our couch brought up a pretty good.
Yeah, the
point.
audience say it more.
I don't mean exotic in any kind of negative way. I mean exotic like I'm interested in that. That would be like if a girl were to be from a part of the world that we don't have many travelers or immigrants
Right.
from, and I'm attracted to that girl, and there's a good chance that one of the reasons that I'm attracted to her is because of her exotic look, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term.
We got an audience throw in here. Go ahead.
Would you ever use that word for a white woman?
Would you ever use that word for a white woman?
No, and because they
Because
are
she's not
common
exotic.
around,
I
For
would
God's
if she
sake.
looked exotic.
but
Maybe
the-
had
It's not dumb.
some
Well,
other.
Three eyes
Well,
or what's
what's
exotic?
to all you guys? What's the opposite of
Three
exotic to you guys? Common.
What's the opposite of
I'm-
exotic? What's the
Milk toast.
Milk.
So if the opposite of exotic, for lack of a better word, is common, and common is what we have in North America, we have a lot of white women. Then a white woman in North America can't really be exotic.
Milk toast.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's what we're familiar with, right? Exotic means it's something you're not familiar with.
Regular. I don't.
Regular. So
2%.
I think
Man.
looking at this and seeing it from the perspective of somebody who's from a different geographic region, I don't think I'll refer to people as exotic.
But would we
No.
not be exotic
Yeah.
if we traveled to a?
If we
I think-
traveled to our South America, we would be considered exotic.
And I think that if we spend 5 minutes on every one of these, we're gonna be here for 50 minutes as opposed to 20.
We're not gonna spend 5, but we're having a good chat about this one. I agree, we're not gonna, okay, so to Rich's point, let's look at the next one too. Do not use the word ethnic as though it were a distinct race or nationality. So have you ever heard people refer to other groups as,
I've never heard that one.
Jim, what's your ethnicity?
mine? I don't even know. Scottish and Doukhobor is what it is. Is that even ethnic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your.
But you wouldn't
Yeah.
say, hey, you're real ethnic.
Listen, you guys.
Oh, the audience
We gotta squeeze down here because we're white privileged males sitting on a white leather couch in
That's real leather?
a super
I thought this was
acoustic.
pleather.
A super, yeah, actually, it's biecast leather, and if you want to know, it'll start peeling eventually because biecast leather is all the little bits of leather they collect. They press them together with glue, they put them over a cloth fabric, and eventually your biecast leather peels off.
Starts to peel off
But
like a
somebody in
bad
the audience
suntan.
says that's offensive to be called ethnic.
I think.
Yeah,
Stars.
offended.
The star?
Is that
one of
supposed to be
our
a star, David?
one of our answers.
Not quite the Star of David. It looks like the devil.
I agree. To be called ethnic is identifying someone by their race, and it doesn't feel like it's a complimentary term so much.
Well, then why every time we travel, if we travel abroad, we put the Canadian flag on our crest?
I don't know. We got a question from the audience. Yeah.
So there's a difference from asking someone's ethnicity because that's like asking them to actually put them into like, you know, like, oh, distinguish them. But saying, oh, they're ethnic is marginalizing an entire group of people that
Oh.
are traveling to Canada.
Okay.
And that's the difference.
Well, then I've never heard someone say, oh, they're ethnic.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I-
never heard where you're like, oh, there's an ethnic family down the street.
Yeah, I've heard that. There's an ethnic family. We have an ethnic family moving into
Actually,
our
I
neighborhood.
just heard it
That
from the
was,
audience member just now.
That's
He
the first
said it.
time.
But
I can
Warren, that
also
was
say
probably
that-
from a little bit farther back. We're a wee bit older than you, but that was actually common terms.
Like,
Yeah.
well, like 20 or 30
So we
years
need
before
to
I came
stop
out.
saying it.
Okay, we're gonna stop saying.
All right.
I'm gonna stop saying the word ethnic to refer to people from a distinct race or nationality. I'll read number 3, then somebody else can take 4, 5, and 6. Do not ask people where they're from more than once. Trust them the first time. No need for.
And
Where are you from? No, where are you really from?
I think that comes to age. I remember my dad doing that one time. He's old. He's dead. He's so old. He's dead. But I remember being at a
What
restaurant with
ethnicity
him.
is he?
He was a whitey.
Can't say that.
Okay.
So, but he was
That's
asking this
something
young
that we need
Vietnamese
to
girl.
stop
We were at a restaurant. He's
Right.
asking this young Vietnamese girl where she's from, and she's like, "Well, I'm from Mississauga." No, where are you really from?
Did she take offense?
No, she was very patient because he was an old white
Yeah.
man.
Codger.
And
Oh,
me,
that's
of course, me at the time, like, oh my
Oh.
god, like you're just like, oh my god, this is horrifying. But she was very patient with him, and she understood that just certain generations, it's just they see things slightly differently.
So underlying the question is the fact that somebody is maybe perhaps of a different color than the person asking, and they think, yeah, maybe you're from here now, but where's your family really from? And where did you really
Exactly.
originate from? Tell me more. But
and
maybe
I think
there's a
that's
better way to
the
ask it.
redneck mentality. That's all. So
Yeah.
I think we're getting past that already.
Yeah, well, the understanding is that's not a real non-racist way to ask somebody.
At the same time, sorry to
No.
stop you, but somebody's asked me my name before, and then
We're not giving last names on the show. I'm going to bleep that out.
and then they'll be like, oh, Scottish, right? Like they just identify me,
And nobody likes you then.
and well, but that's beside the point. They peg me based on my last name, right? Like you're from this part of the world. Oh, Anderson. Oh, you're probably English,
Right.
right? Or so it happens to everybody.
But if we look back at some of the understanding about racism comes from a position of power and privilege, right? So,
I disagree with you on that one.
okay, you can, but let me just finish
It's not
explaining.
power and privilege,
To say that's reverse discrimination or reverse racism when I no longer
It's
can
just
get a
called
job
racism.
because some Syrian refugees are now getting hired, and I say there's reverse discrimination. I've had power and privilege as a white privileged
But
male
we don't
my whole life.
agree with the term reverse discrimination.
Well,
What
there
did
is no
There's no
reverse
such
discrimination.
word, man. It's
Right,
just
that's my point.
discrimination,
My point is there's no
I didn't
reverse
get your point
discrimination. My point is the Macaulay family, who is a privileged
Scottish. Nobody
Scottish,
likes it.
the history of the white Scottish race, if it's a race, we'll call it, was they've been privileged and had power. They've never been marginalized as a people group to actually.
Yeah. Actually, they were very
Okay.
marginalized.
Scots were oppressed by the British, the English.
For
Have you
a
seen
long time.
Braveheart?
Historically.
Okay, so I've been
Or
corrected. The
what-
Scots are an oppressed group. I'm no longer gonna
All right.
think the Scots are not
Rob Roy, maybe,
Well,
yeah.
are a
Take back
privileged
the word
white
tomorrow.
race. So when were they oppressed? Give us a quick bit of history.
By
Bonnie
the
Prince
English.
Charlie. I
William
don't know, I
Wallace.
don't know
Right,
dates, but
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so would the Scots have been
For
saying
years.
we feel marginalized, we feel
Yes, yeah,
At a time.
100%.
that? Okay, well we're gonna get to at a time. The audience says at a time, so
So we're at a different time now, so you're
No.
ignoring his plight of his people?
no,
no,
I didn't come here and talk
No,
about
actually, it's the very
Transitioning.
next one. Our audience member, go ahead, Warren. You got to read number 4.
Avoid statements like, wouldn't it be great to live during, insert any era during which the person you're talking to couldn't vote or own
No, I
property.
know. Our audience member didn't say that, but
Remember
she said
when
at a
women
time.
couldn't vote?
But she
That
said
was
at
a
a
good
time
time.
the
Great
Scots.
time.
That was a good time.
Because I don't know the dates.
Okay, I don't know them either, and we can look them up. But at a time, the Scots felt like they were marginalized and oppressed, and I can't read your signs, audience.
So what?
Guilty.
They're
It's a
guilty. They should never vote. They said.
So I'm
they're not
I'm
comfortable with it.
supposed to never say, wouldn't it be great to live when you could have slaves?
You're,
Oh,
okay,
but you're
like
not supposed to say that to a black person.
wouldn't it be great to live when the Scots were being oppressed? Let's pick the
Who would ever say that?
the 1650s.
This one, my friend.
I would have loved to
Number
live in the
4.
1650s. Who would ever say that?
Never say that.
Who likes period films in the audience?
Oh no, hold on.
Oh, look at
Whoa,
that.
whoa.
Wow.
There's
That's
no
not the
there's
same
So
to
you
me.
so
there's context here that we're not
okay.
addressing.
Go ahead, Warren.
It says, wouldn't it be great to live? It's not saying, wouldn't it be great to live during the Renaissance? It's saying, because after it says, insert any era during which the person you're talking to couldn't vote or own property. So if you said to a black person, wouldn't it be great to have lived in the early 1800s?
Right.
Well, no, because he.
When
he or
you
she
would work on
probably
my
be-
plantation.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
That's
if
that's
for
what
him
they're
it
saying.
wouldn't have been great.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be great to not be a freaking dumbass? Who would say that?
Well, and I
I don't
know
know.
I
There are
would.
people,
Actually,
but
but there are
Americans will
people
say.
that do.
We'll
yeah,
say Americans.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
This show is a complete indictment of the United States of America. Good luck with
Yeah.
your Trump.
Good luck with your voting this
Good
election.
luck.
What's
Okay, so
wrong
go
with
ahead.
you?
Yeah, go for it. More.
Number 5, resist the urge to ever say, I have a lot of fill in the blank with racial, religious, or ethnic group
I
which
don't-
you are least familiar friends.
I have a lot of black friends.
I got a lot of gay friends.
I got a lot of gay friends. I got a lot of what?
Transgender friends.
Yeah, I got a lot of what?
I,
You don't have any friends?
Got a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends.
I got a friend in you. I was gonna sing to you, but
So I guess I see this one playing out like there's a transgender individual in your room at a social gathering.
why is he in
and-
your room?
in the room at a social
Okay.
gathering, and you say to them, "Oh, I have a lot of, like you said, transgender friends." That's is that considered racist or is that considered politically incorrect
That's considered small-minded. So
to say something like
you-
that?
like that's what the point you say. Okay, show me your friends on your picture on your Facebook.
Oh, you call them on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they're like, "Ooh, flip, 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 flip." Well, this is.
Show me
you're
all
like
your
that's
English
that's
friends,
the
you see
waiter
that?
in the background, you know.
Well,
It's like-
regardless of how many friends they have on that, it seems clear by this Huffington Post article we need to white
Yes.
folk need to stop saying that kind of stuff.
I
What do you got
I
next?
can agree with that
Okay.
one. I think that's one we should probably shut down. 6, remember that reverse racism is not a thing. Racism is about abuse of power and privilege. If your race denies you power and privilege, then you can't be racist. Certainly, you can still be an asshole, just not racist.
I saw a post on Facebook recently that talked that very thing. You're not a racist. You're
Unless
just an
you're
asshole.
rich. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either.
You can
So,
be racist and be poor.
If there was a group of
The hell?
whatever segment of the
Take the
population,
KKK. A lot of poor white people. They're very racist. They're not privileged.
so or let's take like a Mexican gang in the States, in Southern America,
Okay.
who absolutely detests white people.
Sure.
That's racism, whether they have, and I guess their power is violence.
But the point is being racism comes from a point, a framework, a perspective of having power and privilege. That group never had privilege. So when let's pick the civil rights movement, when the Black Panthers in the 60s, when was that? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, they were pushing it back against the whites. And this is a CNN term, the whites. Now the whites were racist.
Whiteys.
Yeah,
Okay.
whiteys. But the Black Panthers weren't being called racist for pushing back because they were not coming from a point of power and privilege.
So they were just assholes.
They were just assholes.
Okay.
Yeah, for killing or for robbing and whatever they did, whatever crime activities they were involved in, that would have been an asshole move, not a racist move. I guess we can make the distinction.
But
So
again-
the minority against the majority is not racist.
If the minority has power and privilege, like the Queen, who's
Well,
a
the
minority
Queen's
member.
racist?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh,
big time.
If the minority,
I didn't know
the perspective is, the view is, if the minority, whoever has power and privilege has the chance of being racist. If you're not in a position of power and privilege, then likely.
So these poor white rednecks in southern United States are not racist?
You know what? Say that again.
The poor
White.
white rednecks in southern U.S., in Georgia.
What color are they?
They're,
The-
I
Yeah.
pretty much said white.
I
a
know,
second
and I'm
ago.
trying to emphasize the point. My understanding is that's the dominant culture, the whites.
I
and
disagree
so
with that
that's a
perspective.
power and privilege position right away.
No way. They're just racist pricks. They're not dominant.
They
not
are racist.
Intelligent. They're
Yeah.
not educated. They're
But
not.
no, they are
have
racist.
no
You asked
money.
me.
They're
I'm saying,
racist.
yeah, I agree. They
But
are
they're
racist.
not dominant in any way, shape, or form.
Because they're white, they have a dominant culture.
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay, we
Doesn't
got to
make
throw in
sense.
from the audience.
When you're white, you have privilege.
When you're white, you have
100%.
Only because they're white.
Only because
Yeah.
you're white. I can
That
tell
makes
you
no sense.
that. Are you kidding me? You're in Canada.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
the
we're in a
dominant
very
culture.
we're in the middle of the prairies. It's a very white dominant.
Right. But we have a hard time understanding.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, audience.
But you go ahead,
Nothing.
audience
You being
lady.
white and being male, being middle class makes you like highest percentage
hot.
of privilege.
And what was
And
hot?
the thing is like, just
Yeah, you
being
didn't say
white-
hot.
Intelligent.
But the thing is, okay, I went to Honduras, and the second I was in Honduras, I was singled out as being a white woman. So I walked down the street one day. there was
Because you're a
one-
white woman.
Yes, because I'm white. So what happened is there's one guy on the street, he walked into a building, came up with 6 more guys so they could all look at me, because they all think I have money because I'm white. And that happens all over the world. When I was in Morocco, same thing. Men were like, oh, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this, you rich white lady? And I was like, I have no money. I'm saving it for school, honestly. It's barely paying for this trip. And then they were like, oh, you're so funny. Look at this purse, though. And I'm like, I got no money. And they're like, but you're white. Anywhere you go in the
So-
world, if you are
So,
So-
your first world probably.
So it's a perception.
Your
though.
first-
Yeah,
world.
it's that you're white, so you have power.
But is the perception not the reality that?
Well, not in her case. She said that she had no money.
I know, but the thing is,
Right.
they see you as powerful because you
Because
are
you're
white,
white.
you must have
Because
money.
Be-
historically,
because historically white.
that is
I don't agree with that.
And
Huh?
you don't believe that the KKK predominant they're white,
Yeah,
right? You don't believe that they're racist?
I
You
believe
don't
they're
think that
extremely racist.
that
I
you
don't think
that they
they're.
have power?
I don't think they're power. No, I think they're small-minded, uneducated, and most of them.
Well, absolutely.
Assholes,
They have more
for sure.
power than
Assholes.
we
But
have.
they have historical power, which is
They're
power.
white, stupid, uneducated.
I sure wish that
Totally.
our
I just
poor-
agree with that.
But
So
the power
where's
is
the
being
benefit
white.
here?
Why are you
Power is-
stereotyping
I don't
the
understand how that
KKK?
works.
Okay, so let's say there's an Aboriginal man and there's you. The person
Yeah.
they're gonna talk to first in a room full of people, they're gonna talk to you because you
Really,
are
the way
white.
I'm dressed, if he's dressed in a nice suit, I'm not.
No,
why?
same
Why?
thing. Like I can tell you, I have Aboriginal friends. The second that happens, I have people in my school that say I'm the only Aboriginal person they are friends with, and it's because I don't look Aboriginal.
So let me.
What happens if
Oh,
we're
wow.
on the reserve?
What do you mean if you're on a
If I'm on a
He's the only
reserve,
whitey on a reserve.
if I'm the only whitey, I'm gonna get shunned
So,
and not
I-
talked to.
But
And
the thing is even on a reserve, the white man had power. You had to give the white man money. You had to wait to buy things and wait for a white man to say, okay, you can buy
There's
that.
way too
You
much
had
erotic
to.
commercial.
Hang on.
Or you had to wait for a white
Time out.
man to give you a slip of paper to get off that reserve.
Yeah.
so you can
Oh,
go
The
buy
past
groceries.
system.
we kind of
the
know
thing
what
is,
happened
white people
then,
have
but if
power.
I'm on a reserve now, which I have been cleaning floors with another white man, I was second class.
Okay, let's time out here. I wanted to address this.
That's
Audience, if I could just have you hold your thoughts for a minute. We don't want to spend a lot of time on this,
Alright.
but the fact is, when you or I go to a reserve, or we go to another culture, and we inject ourselves in that culture, and we feel that animosity that comes from that culture, we automatically want to say they're racist. But the whole concept underlying racism is you have to come from a class that has power and
I
privilege.
don't agree with that. Traveling to other far off countries, like you just said,
Yeah.
been other countries, and
So
their
they're being
skin's dark,
assholes,
and they
Rich.
hate the other people that skin is dark. No whitey's involved, and it's racism. They hate them only because they are a different name, similar skin color,
Zulus
they
versus
hate each
Hutus.
other.
But in that subculture, Matt.
So it's not about what.
Yeah.
There's zero power.
But
It's
No, that is. It's a power struggle.
In that
It's better
subculture.
fighting
Power,
for
man.
power.
let me
They're
try
just
to
different.
Matt.
There's
Let
no
me
power.
bring you back over here.
No.
Please. In that culture,
I'm
when
sorry,
there's
I feel
two
bad.
groups with the same dark colored skin,
Yes, they look very similar.
right? It's a power and privilege class system between the groups is why there's racism.
Man,
why you could
it's-
classify that as racism between the groups. Okay, because there's power and privilege.
It's purely a racism, not a racism thing. It's a race-ism.
Wonder what's gonna happen.
A race-ism.
When the millions of people watch this and see that we don't allow the women's faces on camera
I'm sorry.
in Canada.
The 17
You can't
people
have
watch, or the
female-
millions of people
the
watch?
millions of viewers when they see
I
this.
count 17 people watching this right now. But all right,
Play the
continue.
game.
Okay, a million,
The
million
millions
people.
of viewers
Right
are
on.
going to see in Canada, in the prairies, you can't have female faces on camera. They can only be
Not on
heard.
the crew.
So, Crew Live audience, Rich has given an excellent lesson that you need to, when you go to live studio audiences, you need to sign your waiver form so you can be shown on camera, all right? We couldn't get the legal group to get the forms together for our audience to sign it. So, excellent point to be made there. Okay, we got one, let's jump on. We're not going to settle with racism. We want to know what your
You
thoughts
guys
are
are wrong.
on racism. Matt thinks you're wrong. I think I'm racist when
You are
I
racist,
have
yes.
power and privilege and...
Over other whiteys, yes.
but it's not over other
You
dominant
hate the
cultures.
Scottish, I find.
Yeah. Why do you
Crazy
hate the
people.
Scots? Let's put it on him.
Do you have to switch places?
I just want to know what you guys think about, unless you are one of those people making fun of people using the phrase those people, then you should never say those people.
Okay, good one. So can you give us an example?
No, I
No,
cannot.
we agree that that's just weird.
Yeah,
so,
well,
go ahead, Warren.
Well, if a little show called Rescue Me taught me anything, there was a cultural sensitivity training episode, and Tommy Gavin was the lead character, and he was Scottish, and he would call other Scottish people mix, and he said that he could get away with it because he's Scottish.
You don't call them mix, so mix are Irish.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Anyway,
They're all racist, Matt.
That's a bit different. So you
well,
don't ever call.
well, okay, pick
don't
your race.
mistake the Irish with the
Well,
Scottish. That's
okay,
weird.
so he was saying also for people of Spanish descent or Mexican descent that he could use a derogatory slang. Oh no, he couldn't, but someone of that descent could use it. Or like black people
You got a 10 o'clock.
throwing N-bombs at each other.
yeah.
And it's not that big of a
only
deal.
one.
So this is kind of along the same line, in my opinion, where you can't, unless you're one of those people, stop making fun of people by saying those people. So if I'm
Don't refer to another culture as those people.
right, but I can refer to my own culture as those people.
No, you can make fun of
I
yourself.
can make fun of you being an asshole calling another culture those people. That's what Getty...
You can make fun of the
Who is
Scottish.
this?
but
That's
no
what
one
the Huffington Post is
You can,
teaching us.
you can make fun of the Scottish, sure.
Well-
and this article is written by Melody Moise. She's an author, attorney, activist. She's actually a United Nations global expert. Okay, this is not just shit that Crew Live made
else. How
up.
did she define herself as an expert?
Well, somebody defines
I
it
see
for
it on
her.
this little piece of paper you printed off, but that makes no sense to me.
Okay, we can Google it. I'll send you some info on her.
You won't.
I will. It'll be posted on the Crew Live
think
Facebook
about number
page,
8,
which
though.
is the Crew Live. Sorry, Facebook.com/the Crew Live. Go ahead, Rich.
That's way too
That's
long
a
for
long
me
one.
to read,
That's long
and
reading.
I feel like I'm at Bible study,
Okay.
being forced to read a verse.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Would you like
so
me to read
it?
yeah, Warren, read it.
Warren.
Listen to this, Crew Live audience. You're gonna like it.
Think before asking people to explain an entire race, religion, civilization, or geographic region to you simply because they happen to identify with that background. Don't expect a 14-year-old girl who covers her hair to explain all of Islam to you in 10 minutes or less simply because you're too lazy to read a book. Get a library card and let her eat her lunch in peace.
Yeah, a poor little gal.
Good one.
That was a lot of reading. Let's move on to the next
So,
one.
do you get what it means, though? Like, it means don't expect people to explain their whole world because you got some issues with, say, Scottish people. Explain the whole history of the Scots.
dicks.
Who did they get oppressed by, audience?
English.
That bloody
The Brits. Yeah, I forgot already.
Nobody likes
Right.
English. No.
Murray.
Okay, excellent. So, point 9, Matt or Rich, you want to pull that one off?
Let me do this one because it's short.
Okay.
Remember, we are not all from any one place. Pretending we are just makes you look delusional, James. So avoid the "we are all from Africa anyway" statements.
Oh, it's like we all came from Adam kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah. So that kind of embraces that the differences are salient and we need to enjoy the expressions of them and saying, "Oh, we're all from Adam," or "We're all from Africa."
Man, we gotta accept that everybody's like a rainbow of colors. Not that we're all weird, but rainbow is good, man.
Yeah, I remember
Changes go.
some parents when they had little children in the playground and they had an issue with somebody who might have been a different ethnicity, if we're allowed to say that. Mama or dad would say, "We're all
see it on here.
we're all the same anyway. We all come from the same place anyway. We all bleed red." That's what they said on the playground. You should have seen the melee.
That's
That
a lot
was,
of blood.
oh yeah, it was a West End playground. Point being, shouldn't we have taught our children we're all different, but here's how to enjoy the differences, as opposed to saying we're all the same.
We're not the same. We're not the same physically, mentally.
Like the two of you?
Yeah, no.
We're the same.
You got better hair, I think.
I'll get my oh yeah, it's going away. I'll get my glasses soon. Okay, we got one more, or two more.
One.
More.
Okay, who's gonna load it up?
You finished it off.
Well,
Unless
actually,
you-
this has to be Warren to read this one because apparently he's got.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah.
fits him.
Unless you have achromatopsia, never say, "I don't see color." Real funny, guys.
You're different.
You're
laughing at you.
You're
Head
weird.
pointed.
Pointing. We're bigoted about
Where,
you.
where are
being
you
different.
really from?
What's wrong with you? Where are you from? Your eyes all wide.
How's that? Say it again. Anachrona.
I don't know, I just read it. Achromatopsia. Topsia?
Achromatopsia.
Something like that.
I don't see color. Okay, so point being, a lot of people say when they're interacting with other ethnicities or people from other races, I don't see color, and I don't know why that's.
That goes back to number one again. 'Cause number one was the same thing.
Why would that
Like
be considered?
diminishing
Go ahead, audience. That's what.
It's just like diminishing what they might have been through because of how they look. It's like,
So maybe diminishing or minimalizing who they are, where they come from.
Challenges
That's right,
and barriers
yeah.
that they've had in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Can anybody here see that as a negative statement about race? I don't see
man.
color.
You see color.
So it's a lie.
You're a liar then when you say that, yeah.
Oh, I dare you to say that next time someone
You're
says
a
it.
liar.
I don't see color. Oh, you're a liar.
I do say that. I'm okay saying that.
Cheers to
Well,
you.
See, and on the other side of the coin, I can see that statement being on a T-shirt on Facebook and getting 10 million hits because it's like, I don't see color. We're all one people. We're
Yeah.
all the same.
We're not the same, man. There's
And
stupid
there'll
people
be-
and smart people. There's two different people.
So how many of you guys would?
Don't belittle yourself, okay? We don't have to be smart
not
and
belittling.
stupid. We can
We can be
be the same.
slow and fast. We're good.
Rich, I like that you bring up the Facebook because would you, Warren, put the unhappy face to something like that if you see that T-shirt?
Do you not just ignore most of that stuff, man?
Well, I know we do, but the reason why we ignore it is because we don't have the balls to put the unhappy face up.
Have you not like
On something like
unfriended
that.
people because of that crap?
Hey?
So,
Hey,
Not seeing my Facebook.
no.
okay, so
We're not
point
friends
being,
on
Rich
Facebook.
says there's a T-shirt post.
I'm saying
It's
there- I
it's a
can
meme.
see it. I can
Oh, I know,
see it.
I know, and I'm gonna try and
Oh,
paint the picture.
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay.
No,
You
go-
can see it. Rich says he can see a Facebook post where it's a meme that says, "I don't see color. I love all races
Can we
equally."
not use the term meme?
Well, that's what it is. It's called a meme.
I disagree with that.
It's totally mean.
It's called a meme.
I-
Go to the 30-somethings
I
to
know,
ask what the
that's
hell
a
it
new
is.
word, man,
40-something.
but all right.
Step into the meme stream.
Yeah. So, but the meme stream, as Warren eloquently puts it, says, "I don't see color. I love all races," and so you either ignore it or you put a happy face. Why don't you put the newly allowed sad face
Or type what the hell's wrong
Well,
with
and then you have to reference this.
You put a link in.
Just
Yeah.
have that on,
Then you
on
put the
permanent
link in here.
copy, so you can just paste it. To
And if
everything.
you have a problem with this comment, refer to Melody
Moizzi.
Moise.
Yeah. If any of this offends a white person, I ask. Okay, so as with all sessions of the Crew Live, we've accomplished nothing on the Crew Live today. And our intention was to follow rule number 1, which was what?
Love all people. I don't know.
Where's rule number 1? Don't use the word exotic.
That's
No.
No,
doesn't
no,
really tie in with what
what
we're
she's saying is that the number one rule of all this is that
It's we're all exotic. We're all exotic in God's eyes.
What do you see?
Why don't you just say what you mean?
my train fell off the tracks there.
Tell.
I don't think I did.
No, you did. We got to close it up. Tell me. Close the loop.
Can we take it from the audience?
Yeah, let's hear it from the audience. What's the number 1 rule, audience?
Nobody knows.
Is it the golden rule? Is that the number one rule?
Love thy
The
neighbor. Is that
golden
number one?
rule.
Don't
It's
speak
not the
unless
proper
spoken
It's
to.
the intention behind your
See-
motivation.
Oh, intention. Yeah,
intention.
thank you. That's close enough for me to read now. The intention is number one rule. The audience is trying to claim that intention is the number one rule, yet right at the outset of our discussion, we said, just because you didn't intend for something to sound racist doesn't mean it isn't. So you may be sounding racist. If we sounded racist on the Crew Live, let us know through facebook.com/thecrewlive or thecrewlive.co. We've accomplished nothing, but it's been great having you here. Cheers to our live audience, and cheers to the Crew Live.
Yes.
I'm Jim, this is Warren, Rich, and Matt. We'll see you next time on the Crew Live.